Sound off? Sound off.
Ladies and gentlemen, could you please take your seats? The session is about to begin.
Был же, сейчас начал видеть. Он что-то там кресло, что-то вцепит. Ну, когда ты там кресло, что робит? Лён, снимай путь. Я привык.
En wij wonen bij elkaar. Dus, en onze dochters zijn samen al. Dus wij weer. Voor mij was het heel gaaf. Ja, dat weet ik. Ja, toen ze zijn Robin en ja, Suzanne ook. Ja. Oh, wow. Ja? Mocht je niet op Zit ze in een pen of ergens waar ze zegt, ik ga wel even naar New York. En dan, ja, ja. Oh, fantastisch zou je. Mooi toch. Nou, imprint. Dit is in 24 uur. Nog een beetje minder. 19 uur. Dat is best spannend. Dit kunnen we.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention please for the Vice Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Netherlands, His Excellency Mr. Wopke Hoekstra.
Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, today is an important day in the Netherlands. Today we remember those who lost their lives in the Second World War and in wars and peace operations since then. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a privilege and an honor to welcome an extraordinary guest today. President Zelensky, we are truly honored to have you here today. Welcome in The Hague. Mr. President, welcome in The Hague, welcome in the city of peace and justice. Ladies and gentlemen, the war in our country ended almost 8 decades ago. And yet the memories still resonate. Almost every family still tells stories of the war. Stories of loss, of fear, of hunger. But also stories of bravery and resistance. Of heroes who have fought for freedom and peace. And 78 years later, this war is still part of who we are. So every year on this day, we remember. Every year we think back of those who we lost. And tomorrow on Liberation Day, we remember that freedom must never be taken for granted. People have fought and died for it, and they fight and die for it still. And in Ukraine, as we all know, this freedom is under severe threat. Every day, Russian missiles, tanks, drones and soldiers attack it. And every day, brave Ukrainians step to protect it, and protect what is theirs. And President Zelensky, every day since the illegal Russian invasion, you and your people have shown us what it means to fight for freedom. And we deeply admire you for doing that. And please know that the Netherlands will continue to stand with you. We have supported you and we will continue to support you. First of all, with weapons, because the harsh reality is that there is no substitute for success on the battlefield. But also with humanitarian aid, with harboring refugees, and with help in rebuilding your wonderful country, just as others have helped us rebuild ours. Ladies and gentlemen, illegal wars cannot go unpunished. There cannot be peace without justice. It is the only answer. It is the only answer to aggression and war crimes. It is the only answer that will ensure a lasting peace. And that is a lesson we have learned from the war all those years ago. And it is a lesson we must continue to apply today. Ukrainian prosecutors have registered 85,000 Russian war crimes since the beginning of the war. That is hundreds of crimes every single day. Men, women, children are being cowardly raped, tortured, and murdered. Schools, hospitals, and houses are being bombed. Children are being kidnapped. Every single day. Every single day. And these are ordinary, innocent people who have done nothing to deserve this terrible fate. And we can never accept this. And we will do everything in our power to ensure that Russia is being held to account. But we can only do this together. Together with the international community. Together with all those who want peace and believe in justice. And that is why we in the Netherlands strongly support accountability initiatives. It is why we send forensic teams to Ukraine, and it is why we are ready and willing to host prosecution centers, damages registers, and courts here in The Hague. These are important steps, but they're only first steps. The road to accountability is long and full of setbacks. It requires perseverance and a special sense and a special kind of resoluteness. The kind I see every time I speak with you, Mr. President, and the kind I see in Ukrainians every single time I've had the opportunity to visit the country. Mr. President, we're in this together. We will continue to support you in your fight for freedom, sovereignty, and a just peace, until you celebrate your own Liberation Day. Mr. President, dear Volodymyr, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to thank you for your attention and your respect for Ukraine, and I have felt today. Thank you very much. This is attention and respect from people who value freedom and do not tolerate tyranny as much as we do not in Ukraine. Thank you very much. Dear Minister Hoekstra, dear members of Parliament, dear ambassadors and journalists, dear representatives of international organizations, political and judicial communities, dear people, first of all, people of the Netherlands. And I'm glad to be in your strong country now the land of freedom and justice, which are universal values, and it is about these things that I will speak today. Of course, we all want to see different Vladimir here in The Hague. The one who deserves to be sentenced for these criminal actions right here in the capital of the international law. And I'm sure we will see that happen when we win. And we will win. And when we win not just on the battlefield, not just against this aggression, look at how countries around the world are coming together to help Ukrainians defend themselves. What is at the heart of this desire to help? The feeling that more than the fate of one country is at stake. The feeling that more can be achieved than the defeat of one aggressor. We can now stop wars of aggression as such. We can defeat aggression as a criminal idea that originates in the mindset of someone who is used to impunity. Impunity is the key that opens the door to aggression. If you look at any war, any war of aggression in the history, they all have one thing in common. The perpetrators of the war didn't believe they would have to stand to answer for what they did. They must stand to answer for war. However brings war must receive judgment. Ladies and gentlemen, defeating impunity of aggressors means destroying the origins of aggression. Victory in the war is won by force of arms. That's how the job gets done. And I'm grateful to you to you and the Netherlands for every piece of weapon supplied to Ukraine, for everything that helps us to maintain our defense and gradually prepare our active actions. But do you know that the lasting peace after victory is achieved by nothing else but the strength of values? First of all, it's the strength of freedom and of law, which must work to the full of ensure justice, not hybrid promises instead of human rights, real freedom, not hybrid impunity and symbolic formalities, but full-scale justice, not hybrid peace and constant flashes of violence on the front line, but reliable peace when one respects values. True freedom, true justice, true peace is respected instead of hybrid forms. But it's exactly what we need now. Let's think about one number. Now, this number is 6,139. This is the number, contrary number of war crimes committed by the Russian occupiers this April alone. These Russian crimes led to the death of 207 Ukrainian civilians. Among them are 11 children. Another 17 children and 400 adults were injured in a month alone. And the full-scale Russian invasion has been going on for the 15th month. Just yesterday, it was yesterday, in our Kherson region alone, Russia killed 23 people. 49 were wounded. I'm speaking about civilians. And it all started more than 9 years ago with the occupation of our land, with the occupation of Crimea and Russia's bloody hybrid war in the Donbass. Thousands and thousands of war crimes, thousands and thousands of victims. The Russian rocket that killed 23 people in the city of Uman, and each of the millions of strikes fired by Russian artillery in the Donbass. Every person killed by the occupiers in Bucha, and every filtration camp that Russia set up on our independent land. Every prisoner who was tortured in the Russian captivity, and every city deliberately burned by Russia, and all the pain suffered by the Dutch people after the downing of MH17 flight with the use of the Russian weapons by the Russian hands. Exactly by the Russian hands. And please observe a minute of silence in the memory of all those whose lives were taken by Russia, by its terror. Please. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, only one Russian crime led to all of these crimes. This is a crime of aggression, the start of evil, the primary crime. There should be responsibility for this crime, and it can only be enforced by the tribunal. Europe and the world have already had to deal with something like this. As a result, we can see the following words in the text of the judgment of the International Tribunal in Nuremberg. To initiate a war of aggression, is not only an international crime, it is the supreme international crime, differing only from other war crimes in that it contains within itself the accumulated evil of the whole. That's absolutely true. We must transform the experience of the Nuremberg process into an operating rule. That's why we insist on the tribunal creation. When there is a tradition of inevitable punishment of aggression, then there will be a tradition of guaranteed non-repetition of aggression. If we want true justice, we should not look for excuses and should not refer to the shortcomings of the current international law, but make bold decisions that will correct the shortcomings of those norms that unfortunately exist in international law. This is exactly what the creators of Nuremberg did. We should do the same now. It will be a witness for you and for us and for all of the nations to live full justice only to history. It will be unfair to our children and our grandchildren to hand them problems that we can solve. That's what the tribunal is for. The sustainability of peace arises from the complete justice towards the aggressor. Ladies and gentlemen, it is wrong that someone in the world is still afraid to give full force to justice. You and I are not afraid, and I'm sure most of the world is not afraid. The aggressor must fear the full power of justice, only him. Yet, this is our historical responsibility of the modern generation to make the total punishment for aggression inevitable, to prevent the aggression against our country and also new wars. There are potential aggressors in the world, and the world must see justice to see peace fully secured. Ukrainian courts will ensure responsibility for most of the crimes of the Russian occupiers, and I'm very thankful to the International Criminal Court and to the entire team working with the ICC for the sake of justice. But only one institution is capable of responding to the original crime, the crime of aggression: a tribunal. Tribunal, not something hybrid that can formally close the topic, not some compromise that will allow politicians to say that the case is allegedly, but a true, we need true, full-fledged tribunal, true and full justice. And I'm thankful to you, the people, leaders of the Netherlands, Prime Minister, the government, the Parliament, for being with us on this path. It's so important for us, and I thank you for supporting the establishment of the special tribunal, and I'm grateful that the International Center for the Persecution of the Crime of Aggression will work right here in The Hague. And same here in The Hague, the Register of Damages from Aggression will be established. And this is a step forward to creating a compensation mechanism. Damages from aggression must be compensated at the expense of the assets of the aggressor himself. And this is also a punishment for war as well as justice. I thank you for the fact that for you, and us, justice really matters. Thank you, the Netherlands. Let justice really work. And when today, as always, on the 4th of May, at 8 o'clock in the evening, you will honor the memory of all those whose lives were taken away by the wars, by the Second World War. In other words, please also remember Ukrainians, men and women, adults and children who would have been alive now, but for this aggression, the war we didn't want, the one we have to make the last, and we'll do it. Slava Ukraini!
Live service.
schrijvende pers gaat dan weer die kant op. En we halen jullie weer op, zo'n 10 minuten voordat de persco start. Na de persco heb je ongeveer... We willen eigenlijk zo snel mogelijk iedereen het terrein af. Dus ik help even mee.
Niet persoonlijk, maar...
Nou, ja,
Trek maken?
Wat zei je?
Trek, kunnen we dat nog van doen?
Nee, dat is geen moment. Nee, want het duurt hier ook nog wat langer. Dus nee, dat kan helaas niet. Nee. Even terug in de live. Dus ja, dat kan zeker. Wil je dat doen?
It will be too simple. Hoe wordt dat dan uit?
Ja, dat kan
volgens de planning.
Dat huisje daar. Dat wit. Ja. Maar nu niet. Dat is te belangrijk.
Ja?
When did she say the crow will arrive?
Ja, we zijn nog één iets vergeten, nog even plenair handig om te doen voor alle verslaggevers. We hebben straks bij de persconferentie ruimte voor 5 vragen in totaal. Dat is zeg maar de normale verdeling die we hebben. Normaal natuurlijk 2 keer 2 vragen. We zitten nu met 3 landen. Dus de media van de president zal 1 vraag stellen. Dat betekent dat we in principe voor de Nederlandse en voor de Belgische media aan beide kanten 2 vragen hebben en aan jullie om even te verdelen wie dat gaat doen.
2 vragen per persoon.
Dus 1 vraag wordt gesteld.
Ja. Per persoon of is het per... Twee vragen?
Jij bent zo ready to go als ik zeg, we gaan hè?
Ja,
Oké.
meteen hè? Dus,
Ja?
Waarom is het aansluiting? Dat is de eerste vraag. Maar dit is goed te weten. Dat kan je sowieso niet, hè?
Ja,
dat is goed, je mag naar binnen. Is hij ook buiten, toch? Waar schrijf je voor?
Je wil mij er gewoon niet bij, hè?
Jawel. Ik mag niet naar binnen, dat is het.
NC.
Oh, en
het is maar heel kort persconferentie.
Geen kritische vragen. Geen kritische vragen. Geen kritische vragen.
Ik had een hele lange vraag gesteld.
Er zijn we ook klaar. Weet je ook weer? Oh ja, Philippe. Ik ben heel positief. Ik ken hem niet goed hoor. Heel tactvol. Met mijn 400, die VR, dan merk je het. Ja, dit ook, 400 ook. Maar die moet je deze mensen ook nog voor.
Ik ben al eens aan het wisselen eigenlijk.
Echt super. Super les. Het is echt gewoon s'avonds, hè? Echt goed.
Hij staat 5 uur terug.
Ja, 4, 5. Ja, maar dat is niks, dat vind ik. Nee, die heb ik ook. Ik had zelfs een tweede versie. Versie 2 toen. Maar die vond ik echt niet goed. Als je wil kloppen of zo, kon je heel mooi. Ja, dat is echt gewoon s'avonds zelfs. Nou ja, dat is het ook. Dit is wel heel handig. Als er genoeg licht is.
Ja, dat is nog een motto.
Ja, dat ook. Dat ook, maar zelfs s'avonds. Maar 400 is mooi. Maar praktisch is dit
hier
super. Ja. It's a Belgian special. And we will bring it back with you. Yeah. Anytime. Oh, you always come for the king. National Day. No, but our thing is sorry? That thing is
Ah, okay, indeed.
Yeah, that can be. Bedankt, hè? Ja. Ik ga met rennen en dat is wel even voor.
Je hebt het zo gezien?
Ja, ik probeer het. Ja.
Can you move the car?
Wat met die auto daarvoor? Huh?
De auto is kut.
Ja.
Bij een operatie. Hij gaat zo voor, maar die zag je niet in lopen. Hier, wat dacht je om naast de open cv te zijn? Hier was het dus.
Yves, tu prends avec, hein? Tu prends avec, si tu dois bouger, je prends.
Ja, plek vooruit te rusten. Wanneer was het? Een paar jaar geleden. 2020. 2019.
Heel vanaf de parkeerplaats.
Ja, vanaf de parkeerplaats in een busje.
Man,
Fantastisch verhaal is dat.
Ja.
Fantastische persconferentie. Kom maar aan.
Een pintje, met mij mee.
Sorry. Ik ben eigenlijk straks met een... Ik hoor het jou niet idee.
Ze waren ermee bezig.
Sorry.
Iemand doet die deur ook, hè? Snel?
I don't know idea.
Oké. Nee, yes?
Many handshakes to follow today.
Yes?
Meneer Rutte mag nog een keer?
Nog een
keer.
Okay, this is so long.
Great.
Ja, dankjewel. Thank you.
See you later.
Zeker.
你下载中天新闻网 App 了吗？我想和你分享一个下载中天新闻网很重要的理由。NCC 关中天没收新闻自由，媒体寒蝉效应很严重。但中天坚守第四权，监督的力量在中天。请立刻下载中天新闻网 App， 和我们一起守护台湾。多一个下载，就多一份力量。